Hey guys, what's up? It's Culture Detective here, investigating your favorite movies, and today I'm going to be doing a movie roundup video where I talk about my favorite not my favorite, but all the movies, TV shows, and animes I watched in the last couple of weeks or so. So yeah, November. I have been watching many things in November, so this video is going to be big and beefy. Starting off with the second half of November, I watched Death Note. No, not the anime, the Netflix live-action adaptation of Death Note, and it freaking sucks. All the characters are dumb, all the death scenes are hilarious, and I know what they're trying to do. They're trying to stuff the entire manga into a 1 hour, 40-minute long movie, so they had to cut corners, and I understand that, but that's exactly why it's a bad idea to adapt mangas and animes into a movie in the first place. Misa became such a watered-down, edgy high school teen, and the ending is just hilarious. The only saving grace this movie has is like Willem Dafoe, so yeah, strong 1 to a light 2 out of 10. I don't know, strong 1, light 2, blah. Next up, I watched Elegies, the new documentary by Hong Kong filmmaker Anne Ho, and yeah, I've been wanting to watch this movie, and it's actually kind of interesting because this movie premiered in LA, in UCLA, where Anne Ho herself showed up, and a couple of my friends even got to take a photo with Anne Ho and got her autograph. And here I am in Hong Kong just thinking, why do you get to meet Anne Ho and not me? But hey, by going back to Hong Kong, I also got to meet some other filmmakers, so you win some, you lose some. But yeah, huge respect for Anne Ho to direct a movie in Cantonese for the first time since 2013, and even huger respect for her to make a documentary about something that she's genuinely passionate about, because nobody in Hong Kong likes writing poems. And yeah, this movie is not as interesting or as deep as it tries to be, but it's respectable, and there are some funny moments here and there that is kind of funny, and everyone bursted out laughing, so pretty cool, 7 out of 10. Next up, I watched Mad Fate, another Hong Kong film. This movie is directed by Soy Chang, who also directed Limbo back in 2021, which is a very good film. So, of course, I was disappointed with Mad Fate. This movie has cool wide angles and sharp colors, and that's pretty much the only good thing going on. The plot is an utter incoherent mess. None of the character motivations are clear at all, and I'm just not invested in the story because of that. And I don't think that's the intention. This isn't supposed to be artsy or anything. This just feels like a mess. Gordon Lam does an impression of Sean Lau in Mad Detective, and the performances are not good. They're just not great. I'm sorry. In concept, this movie's really fun, but honestly, it's kind of a disappointing mess. Light 6 out of 10. Then I watched Autumn Sonata by Ingmar Bergman. I already filmed an individual review for that, check that one out. But yeah, this movie is my first Bergman in color, and it is as painfully emotional and as traumatic as I expected it to be. This film is essentially one gigantic fight between a mother and a daughter, and their very broken relationship. It is a very exhausting watch, and it also didn't hit me as hard as I hoped it would. Maybe I need to have more live experiences first before I rewatch this movie again, but it is still very well made, and I also respect a filmmaker who just says, fuck it, I'm just gonna make an entire movie about a broken relationship and a gigantic tear-filled conversation, because why not? 9 out of 10. Then I watch Anatomy of a Fall, courtesy of Hong Kong French Film Festival. And I've never seen this many French people in one place in Hong Kong before, so this is hilarious. And yeah, this is one of the most riveting courtroom dramas I've ever seen. The editing and the camera movements are very energetic and fun, the writing is smart, and the performances are great. The child performance, insane. The dog, even the dog's acting is good. Why? How? 9 out of 10. Then I watched the new David Fincher movie, The Killer, not the John Woo film. And this is a very weird movie because I'm not invested in the story at all. The main character is very unrelatable, and distant and cold, but that's intentional. And I sort of enjoy the squeaky clean direction of the movie. The editing and the camera work is very precise, but that's kind of what's going on here, is that Fincher is making fun of himself. This is, in a sense, a parody of a David Fincher film by David Fincher, and in concept that's kind of interesting, and interesting enough to let me give it a light 8 out of 10. Then I finally finished watching the anime Pluto, and holy shit, this is a masterpiece. I already did a review of that, please check it out. This anime is a slow burn like True Detective, but it is as transcendental and as timeless and as powerful as it gets. It is a slow-burning murder mystery, but it's also exploring themes of AI technology, geopolitics, the human soul and consciousness, and so much more. The way Urasawa Naoki takes Astro Boy characters and reinvent them into this spin-off is nothing short of ingenious. All these story arcs, the way they connect with each other, and the way it all ended is just so damn huge. And I am floored. Strong 9 out of 10. Then I watched Hold You Tight by Stanley Kwan. And yeah, this is kind of a disappointing movie, mainly it's because it's such a messy film. This movie is not very accessible at all, but as expected, but also I think the directing and the plot itself is just not that strong. The romance happened too fast, and they're not very believable. Eric Tsung also plays a character in the movie, and he's like an asshole in real life. So his scenes are easily not good. Like, he just doesn't have that charisma that he tries to have in this movie. There's some great dreamy moments, romantic moments here and there, but it's also, and I hate to say this, Wong Kar-wai-esque, especially with the Dutch angles and the wide angles and everything. But I like that this film explores themes of LGBTQ, very progressive for Hong Kong in the 90s. And also the theme song, which is sung by Anthony Wong, is amazing. It's exquisite. Chef's kiss. 7 out of 10. Then yesterday morning I finished watching Five Nights at Freddy's. And this is truly the movie of 87. This is truly the movie of 87. Yeah, it's funny. 3 out of 10. Finally, I watched The Wind Rises by Hayao Miyazaki, or Miyazaki Hayao. And yeah, I actually watched it to prep myself up for his new film, How Do You Live, aka The Boy and the Heron. And this is like one of the only non-fantasy films in Studio Ghibli, and that's really weird. It's an anomaly. And I can tell it's a really personal film. There's no magic in this movie. There are some trippy dream sequences, but it's very clear that, okay, obviously it's a dream sequence. But this movie is starkly different from anything else I've seen from Studio Ghibli. It's nowhere near as accessible or as conventional as other Ghibli films. It really takes its time to build up the characters and to build the story. You can argue that there is barely any conflict in this movie. And this movie is also not as music-laced as other Studio Ghibli films. And so this is very different. This is very strange. And this is only I also struggled with this film a little bit. I couldn't tell what's going on because it's different from other Studio Ghibli films, so I didn't expect that it's going to be this much of a slow burn, or not a slow burn, but I didn't expect that this film would be so unconventional for a Miyazaki film. And it is only after the film when I found out that apparently it is a biopic of a plane engineer in Japan, and the voice actor for the main character is none other than Evangelion creator Anno Hideaki. What the fuck? So that's why the main guy's voice acting is so weird and distant. But for some reason, I feel like this is an intentional choice. Anno Hideaki is by no means a good voice actor at all, but by putting a mangaka or an animation person as the main character, Miyazaki projects himself as the main character even more. Oh, so this is where the arigato meme came from. And yeah, it's a movie where the feels matter more than the plot, and the themes matter more than the story structure. And it's very much Miyazaki's own self-reflection when it comes to creating art, national identity, and love. And the romance part of the movie, while it's very rushed, it also feels very urgent. Like, it feels like the characters really urgently love each other, and it's really emotional, and it's also kind of devastating. This movie also has some of the best animation I've ever seen, ever. Period. Full stop. Oh my god, is it beautiful. The bending light refractions in the main character's glasses, all the winds and the puffs of smoke. When there was an earthquake, the entire ground rolls up, and it's crazy. And the sound design too, there are so many scenes in the movie where there are plain sounds, but they're all made with your mouth, like the propellers and the wind sounds are all made with human voice. It's very interesting, artistic choice, but it's certainly sort of worked. And there's small moments here and there that's just like, it's a little bit weird, but it's also like a very particular artistic choice that I didn't know Miyazaki is capable of. So honestly, it's really interesting, and I kind of need to rewatch this movie. It didn't blow me away, but it's definitely an artistic triumph in and of itself. I'm giving The Wind Rises like a light 9 out of 10. So have you seen these movies? Comments below, let me know, subscribe if you want more, and thanks for watching.